Yo, welcome back to Friday with Friends. It's your boy, Brother Gaia, back again. Another One Championship new segment. Before I get into that, please drop a like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Hit the notification bell to know when we go live. Just like last night, we were live for our reaction to 1173 as well as UFC 322. Unfortunately, we got copyright struck by One Championship themselves. And yeah, blocked the video, took it down, demonetized the video, so we had to take it down off the channel. And yeah, again, big apology to that one for you guys. I mean, if you were in our live last night and you tuned in, thank you for tuning in. If you missed it, I'm so sorry about that. Yeah, I don't have the energy to do it again. But yeah, just wanted to give a formal apology for that one. It wasn't really something I saw coming, considering that in the past we have been able to showcase highlights from the fight from the One Championship website itself. Um, and we've never been copyright struck before, but I think because it was a pay-per-view event, and it was in Japan, they were like, "No, we're gonna copyright strike that one," because we normally do it for Friday fights and we do it for the fight night events, and it's never been copyright struck before. But yeah, it's unfortunate, and yeah, I really want to apologize for that one, guys. So, but if you pull through, thank you so much. In today's video, we're going to talk about some of the news, the aftermath of the 173, and just touch base on a couple of cool things I thought that was quite interesting that took away from that sport, and also what has been released a couple of days after the event. So yeah, drop a like, drop a share, and then comment on the video as well if you have any opinions about what I'm going to talk about today. You will see the articles in our ticker tape below. But okay, let's get straight into the chat. Bring it up on screen now. The first thing I want to talk about is a bit of Takeru Sagawa, kickboxing legend, obviously. Amazing performance against Dennis Puric. He showed a little bit of the old school Takeru coming back. And I like that he spoke about this in the press conference when he mentioned that he remodeled his fight style for One Championship when he came into One Championship, and then looked at the tape and he was like he was getting beaten in ways that he didn't like, and then he said, okay, you know what? Let me go back to the old way of Takeru's fight style, and yeah, it was in the put, and he beat a very good top contender in Dennis Puric. I know it's an old Dennis Puric. You would not make an argument like he beat up an old guy, but realistically, Dennis Puric is still high level at the age that he's at, and still fights really well. I think Takeru was just, I think on the night, I don't think anyone was going to beat him, even before fought against Rodtang. At 173, I don't think he was going to lose to anybody. You could see he was very healthy in that fight and put on a good display. But okay, what we're seeing on the screen right now is a post on Tetsuya's X account. If you haven't, go check it out on X. Go check out the footage on YouTube on One Championship and Nick Atkins' YouTube accounts, and you will notice that there was footage of Takeru talking about this just before he went out to walk out with Noiri. Yeah, backstage, you were saying that he might have broken his right hand, and then it looks like the medical assessment was correct, and I think he had broken his right hand in the fight against Dennis Puric. So that just means that he'll obviously take some time off to heal and do a proper assessment on his body. But again, flawless performance, and I really like what I saw from Takeru. This is why I'm bringing up the stories, because if you haven't watched the post-fight presser of 1173, there was a conversation about when would he be fighting against Rodtang, and would that be the next fight for Rodtang? Because we know Takeru wants Rodtang only. He stepped into the ring and kind of agreed on it. We had the face-off. I'm gonna bring it up on screen for you guys now. Just give me a second. Here we go. I'm gonna quickly just take this one away. And then go. And here we go. So if you've seen it, they obviously faced off in the fight, basically after the fight against Dennis Puric. And then in the press conference, they were talking about this matchup, but Takeru's response to what Chaudhry had said was that this fight could potentially happen at 1175, which will be April 29, 2026. That's next year. So, yeah, I'm happy to see this. Obviously, Rodtang still has unfinished business with Nong O, and that could be the first fight that we will see for Rodtang in 2026. Is a fight against Nong O Hama first, because April 2026 would obviously be a little bit still early in the year, but it's like a few months into the year. So I think for the first couple of months of 2026, we could see Rodtang take on Nong O, and we could run that fight back, because we can't have another year of a vacant title in the flyweight Muay Thai division. I don't think that serves the division well. I don't think that serves one championship well. I think it's going to be something that they're going to have to address early in the year. Nongo wasn't sick; he just didn't make weight. Excuse me, he just didn't pass the hydration. So I think Nongo can probably make it again. But personally, I feel Rodtang should be fighting against Nongo first. Maybe February 2026, and then we can get Rodtang versus Takeru April 2026 for that final fight for Takeru. And I'd love to see it. I see people thinking about Rodtang will walk right through him again, and I don't think so, guys. I don't think it will be that easy of a fight for Rodtang. I think we have to acknowledge that Takeru wasn't healthy in the fight against Rodtang the first time. Um, I don't know if anyone that watches combat sports, other than people that are involved in the sports, have dealt with cracked ribs, fractured ribs. Like, it's difficult to even breathe with a fractured rib, let alone fight somebody with a fractured rib, right? So, not to make any excuses, but I think a healthy Rodtang, excuse me, a healthy Takedo versus a healthy Rodtang, I don't think we will see a first round KO. I think we'll get a couple of rounds in that fight first. Still think we'll get some finishes, but I think it will go a couple of rounds first before we get there. But yeah, this is the fight I'd love to see next. And let me know in the comments what you guys think about that. And I think April is a good time for Takedo to actually heal up, celebrate this win, get back into a camp fight in April. And yeah, hopefully Rodtang doesn't get so sick cutting down to flyweight. Maybe Rodtang just shouldn't fight flyweight anymore. Maybe he should just fight bantamweight, period. I know that the bantamweight division, those guys are massive, like Pulabdam, Lobo, Otikov, not Otikov, what's his name? Uh, what's the dude's name in that division? But anyway, the bantamweight division, those guys are really big in comparison to Rodtang, so I can understand. But I mean, he's now unsuccessfully been able to make weight. He made weight once, and that was the Takeru fight in March 2025. Prior to that, all his other fights that he's had, he just hasn't been able to make flyweight weight. So and he had Peter Miller. He had the cheat code in his corner this time. He had Peter Miller there, and he still was. I mean, he was successful, but not healthily. And hopefully that this can be corrected in his next fight. But honestly, if he's gonna struggle to make the weight consistently like this, we have to remember that this isn't like he's missing weight, and then exchange. We've seen he doesn't make weight, and then we don't see him fight for like a year, and like it sounds like a short time, but like realistically, a whole year off stifles or it almost creates non-movement in the division, and that's a problem for the rest of the other fighters. So something needs to change. Something big needs to change for Rodtang for him to be able to successfully make weight and still be healthy and not be so sick at the end of the day. Because yeah, like we know, we've been hearing out a lot of stories that cutting weight in combat sports it's a grueling exercise, and it can really be unhealthy for the fighters. So yeah, hopefully he gets that sorted, and we're gonna get this fight be rebooked, because I want to see it happen, guys. Let me know in the comments what you think about that one. I'd love to get your thoughts, guys. I'm gonna keep it moving. Not many stories to get through today. Aftermath still needs to continue throughout the week. How do I get rid of that? I want to see that. Uh, oh no, what did I just do? Okay, there we go. Yeah, I don't think I can show that footage. That's gonna be a problem. I'll just do that. Here we go. Okay, sorry, there was footage of UFC on this next post, and I don't think I can actually show that. So I want to get demonetized and blocked again. But yeah, staying on 175, as you guys know, I was back, like I've been mentioning now throughout the video so far. There was an announcement on the live broadcast of 173 for 1175 to be Tokyo Akira Arena again, April 29, 2026. And that's why they're trying to push for the Rodtang and Takedo fight to take place there. Hopefully the guys are healthy. But I think it's a good announcement. I think I'm happy to hear that. That just means we're going to get another stacked card again. Possibly a whole bunch of champions on that fight card again, because, I mean, one championship would go big for the Japanese fight cards. But there's another story on this fight card that I want to talk about. There's also an announcement for 1174. I did a video on that much earlier in the year, that they were trying to work for a 1174 card in December, but I think they're going to push that to maybe a little bit earlier in 2026. And if you don't know, I think that fight card's going to be taking place in Malaysia, which I think is good because there are quite a few Malaysian fighters that can really help carry that card. And we could even see a headliner of Dennis Pilic and Joanne Ghazali. Let me know what you guys think about that 1174 card. Like, what do you think that? What kind of fights would we expect for that fight card in particular? And then also put some names in the comments about the 1175 card. What kind of matchups do you want to talk about there? What kind of matchups do you think we should see? I know that we're going to see Rodtang and Takedo on that one if both guys are healthy. But the other fight that I think is going to be interesting that I want to talk about next, which is also on that 1175 card, let me just bring it up on screen quickly, is this one. I think this is a big one. Let's go. Superbon versus Marat Grigorian. And yeah, they have to book it. Superbon solidified himself as probably one of the greatest kickboxers to do it in the featherweight division, hands down. He beat Noiri fair and square. At the time, we were all but gutted. I was a bit gutted because of the losing the bet, because that was the only fight I got wrong on the entire card. And it broke our parlay. So I was like, oh, but gutted. But watching it back and just having another lens on it again, outside of being biased towards it, I think Superbon fought the perfect fight. I think he did exactly what he needed to do. I'll get into the clinching a little bit after this one, but yeah, he fought a fabulous fight. But Ratke Gordon beat Anpo in very good fashion, like basically bullied him for 2 rounds, and deserved the win. And he's still number one after that. I don't think he was going to lose the ranking either. And he's next in line. They fought before. I think, if I'm not mistaken, Superbon and Gregorian has fought twice before. Let me just double check it quickly. Superbon on versus Gregorian. I've got the feeling that they have fought before. On Friday fights. So this will be they must fight again. It'll be a fourth fight. Yeah, I think. Yeah, they fought 3 times already before this. So if they book this fight again, they book this fight for 1175, then we're gonna get a fourth fight between the two guys. And if I'm not mistaken, Superbon might be 2-1 up in their rivalry. Could be under correction here, guys, but I think Superbon got KO'd by Marat first time they fought. Then they fought again. I think Superbon beat him. Then the last one, I remember the third one, I think Superbon beat him again on decision. So I'd love to see them fight again. I'd really love to. I think it's a well-deserved fight between the two guys. Marat's undeniable at this point. He should be fighting for the title, in my opinion. So yeah, they should book that. Let me know what you guys think in the comments about that matchup. Even though they've fought so many times before already, would you like to see it again, or wouldn't you? Personally, I would like to see it again. I'm not the kind of person where the conversation goes, but they fought before. Do you want to see it again? I think these are the top guys, and I'd love to watch the top guys fight. It's not their fault that they are beating all the other competition, right? So they deserve it. But what I want to talk about quickly is a reflection of the performance of Superbon and Noiri, and there seems to be some backlash towards this, for the clinching of what Superbon did in that fight. So, comment. I'm not too sure who Ren Hiriyamoto is, but this is a good good post that he made here, and it says if he's clinching that much in the first place, it should be a point deduction. As this is this even Muay Thai as expected from the Thai Championship? So for me, as it's a little bit salty. I think that's a little bit of a salty response to the fight. Although it's not allowed in the sport, Superbon wasn't clinching and striking. He didn't clinch and strike. He didn't grab Noiri and then threw knees. Right? He didn't do any of that nature. Just like in Muay Thai, dunking somebody, double underlooks and tripping someone over. You don't get points for that. You don't get deducted points for that either. But it's also not allowed in the rule set. You're not supposed to do that. The fighters do it anyway, and the referees don't stop them from this. So it's a bit difficult to kind of justify this, right? Or to agree with what the post is here by Ren Hiramoto. But as much as I don't like what Super One was doing. If it's not gonna be yellow carded and you're not gonna take away points from it, then fine, just do it, bruh. Because what he was doing essentially was watching the fight back again. Was I knew Super One style would be a problem for him. On the live stream, I wanted to say it, but AD stopped me from saying it, which I thought was a good idea. But what I wanted to say was, out of all my parlays, out of all my picks on that night, the one I was worried about the most was Super One and Noidi, just because Super One's got the style to really beat fighters in terms of his activity, right? Whether he's going backwards or going forward, Super One is very active on defense. He throws out body kicks and high kicks consistently enough to make his opponents defend. And then when they get very close to the void, he does a hard stepping knee, right? He steps in and he throws the stepping knee, but then he clinches to stop any counters from coming towards his way. Now I hate that because it's a way to it's almost like dark arts, if you will. It's frowned upon, but it's also not allowed. You know what I mean? Because it's not. And the referee was warning him countless times, no clinching, no clinching, no clinching. So yes, you should be given a yellow card or taking a point away from it. But he wasn't clinching and then throw in a strike. He would strike and then clinch to stop Noiri from doing anything else. And he would just hold him on for like 5 to 6 seconds. Again, people, please hear me out. I don't agree with it. I also don't like it. I find it very frustrating. But if the referees and the judges are not going to do anything about it, then fair game. In fair game. That's how I feel about it. The onus was on Noiri to do something different. Noiri should be getting around that. He should be doing something a little bit else to avoid that, because everyone didn't change up that style. Whether it's going backwards, you would time it, knee, clinch. Or you'll time it, you'll throw a two-piece high kick, clinch. He would always do that to wind down the clock, because he knows if I keep striking you and I clinch you and you can't strike me back, I burn the clock down and I take away your opportunities to actually hit me, which makes me keep winning the fight. So the onus for me, or the initiative was more on Noiri to change that, and he didn't change that. Whereas Superbon just fought the perfect game plan. That's how you beat Marat in their last fight as well. Exactly the same way. So it's not so much Superbon's fault, but we should actually highlight the officiating, the judging, the rule set, and also the fighter that's on the other side of it. What are you doing differently to avoid this? You know what I'm saying? That for me is the biggest takeaway. And that's how I feel about it. I went through the comments also as well, and people were like causing uprisings about it. Noiri who lost is the only person that was like, it's frustrating, but that's how the game goes, and I lost. You know what I mean? So everybody else was like, no, it's a problem, it's a problem, it's a problem, it's a problem. And I agree. And I'll only really hop on the bandwagon as it's a problem if the officials actually do something about it. I've been watching One Championship now since 2017, 2018, right? And I haven't seen fighters, I haven't seen officials, referees and judges stop this. Like, they warn the fighter, don't grab or don't clinch or don't catch the leg in kickboxing and throw a strike. They warn fighters for that, but they don't stop them from doing it. You know what I mean? So something needs to change there. So in my opinion, if the referees are not, and officials, judges are not going to do anything about it, just give these fake warnings every single time, then fuck it, bro. It's a fair game. Then do what you want to do then. Then in my opinion, let the bro clinch. But again, Superbon didn't clinch and tie clinch and knee. He didn't do that. It was a fair knee. Lagan also throws knees in kickboxing as well, and doesn't in the same fashion, and they don't stop him from doing it. He does it exactly the same way, and no one says, "Wow, he's clinching a knee," and they just let him do it. So for me, this response is just a salty response to the loss for Noiri. I think Noiri has to go back to the drawing board and figure out how to get around that, how to avoid Superbon's stepping knees and like lots of activity, because there was a lot of minutes in that fight where Superbon is walking, Noiri's walking Superbon down and doesn't throw a single shot. And then in those moments where he can be throwing shots, Superbon's landing kicks on him and making him block and defend. So I'm like, you're losing the fight. Even though you got all this pressure, you're losing the fight because you're allowing Superbon to actually reset the positions and actually kick you for it. So in my opinion, if you're gonna look at Maratka Gordon, when he puts pressure on fighters, he doesn't walk them down and then wait for the perfect time to hit them. He hates those moments. He walks them down and he throws out weapons. He's forcing you to defend while you walk him back. He's forcing out reactions out of you. He's making you react to what he's doing. He walked Superbon down, but didn't make Superbon defend anything. So I think, again, onus was on Noiri to change it, and he didn't change it. Superbon fought the fight. It was good enough to stop Noiri's pressure and actually make him defend stuff. And it worked in his favor, and he won the fight. And he deserves the win. I thought he won. In my opinion, I gave Superbon around 3, 4, and 5. I see the judging scorecards gave Superbon 3, 4, and 5. One judge gave him 2, 3, 4, and 5. They gave him 4-1, which is mad. I thought he lost 2 rounds. He lost 2 of the 3 rounds. But yeah, great fight. Deserved it. I don't think we should cry about the clinching. What you should really highlight here is the refereeing and the officials and the rule set and the judges. Like, what are you going to do about this? Because if you, in my opinion, as a referee, if you warning a fighter more than 3 times per round, at some point you got to ask yourself, when am I going to give this guy the yellow card? Because in my opinion, if I'm fighting somebody and I'm getting warned of clinching 3 times in 1 round, I'm expecting the yellow card here, guys. I'm expecting the deduction, right? Superbon got warned about the clinching more than 3 times in multiple rounds in this fight, and there was no deduction of the point. So the problem is not the fighter. The problem is the refereeing and the officiating of the sport. They should be more hard on the fighters for doing that. And like, if you warn Superbon so many times, you should tell him, "Here you go, yellow card, deduct the point. Show me you do that again." You know what I mean? Show me you do that again, and he didn't, and that wasn't the case. So yeah, unlucky for Noiri. Well done to Superbon. A bit of bad officiating, in my opinion. But yeah, let me know what you guys think about that one in the comments. I'd love to hear your thoughts. It seems like that is divided opinion amongst the audience and the fan bases. But where I stand, I like fair is fair. I'm a guy that always comes from a fair perspective, an honest perspective, and I try my best not to be salty about stuff. I am human. I'm gonna be salty about things. I wanted Noiri to win, but I also recognize game and Superbon fought perfect game plan, and that's why I deserve to get that win. Right, let's keep it moving, chat. The last story for me, I'm not going to play the audio. You can check it out. I'll leave the links in the description box, but you can check it out on Nick Atkins' Instagram, on his X page, Instagram, and his YouTube page. It's on there as well. It's a nice backstage interview at the end of the fight. And just the premise of the fight, he was reflecting on how good the performances was. He thinks that Superlex should go down to welterweight, is flyweight instead of staying up in bantamweight. And then he spoke about Majima looking as a good fighter, but Nabil fought a fantastic fight as well. And then he spoke about what next, and he said the next fight should be against Yuki Yoza for the interim bantamweight kickboxing strap. That will set up a fight against Jonathan Haggerty. Now, my thoughts on that, as first I was like, yeah, I can see that. But then I read a comment from the general, the hitman himself, and Liam Madison, and I thought it was a perfect response to it all. And this is what he had to say. Here we go. He said, "Nah, man, I hate double champs. The belts just get held up and taken hostage. Yoza has had three massive wins at 145 in kickboxing. Deserves a title shot. Nabil hasn't even defended the Muay Thai belt yet since he's upgraded him from interim to full champ. So why not focus on that?" So I you know what? That's a very good fucking point. You are the bantamweight Muay Thai champion. Let's defend that title. The bantamweight division has been moving this year. There are some good contenders in that division. I think he should be defending that title next. He's not even ranked in the top 5 of the bantamweight kickboxing division. He had one fight, and and he fought good. I thought he was winning the fight against Anahachi. That ended in a no contest. And then to give him a title fight immediately after that, I don't know. You know what I mean? And the fight against Haggerty was for the Muay Thai strap, not for the kickboxing strap. I know that he said that Haggerty had his chance. But Haggerty tore a muscle. He didn't miss weight. He didn't miss hydration. He wasn't sick. He didn't pull out because of his own stupidity. He got hurt, which happens in the sport. So as much as he lost his chance, I also think that he can still fight Nabil for that title. I personally feel that we're probably going to get what's the name? Probably going to get Yuki Yoza and Nabil purely because Haggerty is going to be out for quite some time. Right? He's only going to come back probably mid 2026 or 3/4 into the year of 2026. So that's a lot of time where Yuki Yoza is going to need an opponent, or he's probably going to chill. I think he's going to need an opponent to stay active. Nabil doesn't have to fight Yuki Yoza for anything because he's got a division where there's Kulab Dam. I know he beaten some of the guys already, but there are some good killers in that division. And I'm going to bring up some of the rankings right now that we can talk about on screen so you guys can go through it. Follow Tetsuya. This dude is on point about the ranking update. And let's just look at this quickly for a second. We're gonna go bantamweight Muay Thai. Look at this for a second. So I think Super League should consider sticking to flyweight. I think he's more dangerous there. I think bantamweight's a little bit difficult. But Cameron Nabati, he's coming back 2026. He would be a good fight for Nabil as his first title defense. Philip Dam is on the win streak at the moment. Rambo Lek and Diakaev, they should run that fight back. The winner there could also put the name in the hat to fight against Nabil Anan. I'd love to see that. Lobo lost to him already. Yod IQ still needs to come up. I think he's got a fight coming up now. Param Karate needs to go on another couple of wins, maybe 2 more wins, and he could be put into the hat for top 5 contendership or maybe in the title fight as well. But I think this division is big enough for Nabil Anan to actually defend the title before going into bantamweight kickboxing division. Let me see if I can find it on screen for you guys. But again, do yourself a favor, check out Tetsuya's X account. This guy is on point when it comes to updating the rankings. Bantamweight. Why can't I find the bantamweight rankings here for kickboxing? Come. Strawweight rankings, lightweight rankings, bantamweight, Muay Thai ranking. That's featherweight, bantamweight, flyweight. That's Muay Thai, kickboxing. Yo, where's the bantamweight kickboxing? That's weird. That's of all time. Yeah, I think Super League deserves a title shot, so I don't think he has to go through the division anymore. Let's just bring it up on the ones page as well, just to go through that one. But yeah, personally, I think Super League, Yuki Yoza, after beating Super League in that fashion, doesn't have to prove himself to get a title shot now. I think he can get the title shot, in my opinion. But because Haggerty is out now, who do you think he should be fighting against? We could go Yuki Yoza versus Anahachi, if you will. He beat Petanong. Akimoto just beat Wei Rui, so he comes back into the top 5. Let me show you on screen quickly for a second. But Nabil isn't even ranked here, and you could argue that he could be because he's beaten a Super League. He basically won that round against Inachi before the nut shot. But I think Nabil should defend the Muay Thai strap first. That will furthermore his call outs, right? He can get more weight to his call outs if he does that, because now you defended your title. You're in a position now where you can kind of call out which fight you want to get. And I think Yuki Yoza deserves. It's mad that he's not even in the top 5 here. He beat Petanong. I think he beats these guys. He just beat Super League as well. I think Yuki Yoza should be on top number 1 and deserves a fight against Jonathan Haggerty next until he comes back. If he doesn't want to wait that long, I think Anahachi would be the next best fight for him. And then beating Anahachi gets Haggerty. But I think at this stage in his career, he can actually just chill with Haggerty to come back and take him on. I'd love to see that as a fight. But okay, chat, give me your opinions in the comments. I'd love to hear your thoughts on these articles. Like I said, I will drop all the news segments in our description box. What can you expect for the remainder of the week? Tomorrow, we're going to be releasing our UFC preview for that Tsarukyan Dan Hooker card. That's going to be a crazy card. I can't wait for that one. And then Thursday, we will be releasing our preview for One Friday Fights 134. And then we'll be live on Friday for that Friday Fights card. And then we'll be live on Saturday at 5 p.m. South African time for the UFC. So stay tuned for that, guys. Can't wait to see you all there again. Just a big thank you to everybody that tuned into our lives over this past weekend. We broke all our records, so big thank you to all of you that done that and help us get there. But yeah, from myself and the Fighting with Friends team, you guys have yourself a fantastic week, day, evening, morning, and we will catch you in the next one. Cheers, everybody.